Thank you, Honourable President. At the very outset, allow me to thank the members of the UN Working Group on Enforced and Involuntary Disappearances, led by Rapporteur Special Professor Olivier de Frowell and Professor Osman Al-Haji, who are on a 10-day fact-finding mission to Pakistan, with special focus on Balochistan. Balochistan, as many in this Council are fully aware, is today the world capital of enforced disappearances. These enforced disappearances in Balochistan pose the most serious challenge to the rights and freedoms promised by the UN to the peoples of the world under Item 3. Mr. President, the Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearances has requested a meeting with the Chief Justice of Pakistan, Justice Iftikhar Chaudhry. I am sad to inform this Council that the Chief Judge of Pakistan refused to meet the UN team under the pretext that the issue was being heard in the Pakistani Supreme Court. As if to add insult to injury, the second judge, Justice retired Javed Iqbal, reportedly told the UN team that only 26 people have been forcibly disappeared. The Pakistani judge's attitude towards the UN mission only reinforces the fears of the people of Balochistan that there is little hope for justice for them as Pakistani judges take directions from the military GHQ. Mr. President, to mislead the world and its own people, a cacophony of opposition voices has been raised by the front offices of Pakistani Inter-Services Intelligence Agency, such as the Defy Pakistan Council and the so-called Punjab Forum, who have described the UN mission as an international conspiracy against Pakistan led by the Zionists, Christians and Hindus. In this backdrop, in spite of appeals by Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch and Asian Federation Against Enforced Disappearances and the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, Islamabad has continued with its systematic practice of enforced disappearances against the people of Balochistan. Honourable President, this shows Pakistan is carrying out Adolf Hitler's night and fog policy of enforced disappearances, coupled with kill and dump policy in Balochistan with impunity. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for giving me the opportunity to comment on the topic human rights, rule of law, and democracy. I'll start by giving a brief idea about all the terms and how they're interrelated. Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, whatever their nationality, place of residence, sex, national origin, or any other status. The rule of law refers to the regulation of the relationship between the state and individuals by pre-established and knowable laws. The state, no less than the individuals it governs, must be subject to and obey the law. The state's obligation to obey the law is central to the very existence of the rule of law. Without this obligation, there would be no unforeseeable limit on the state's power over individuals. The term democracy comes from the two Greek words, demos, which means people, and kratos, which means rule or power. So overall, it means rule of the people. In democracy, supreme power is with the people, and they have the right to choose any person to exercise their right and freedom. In short, we can define democracy as a system of governance by the people, for the people, and of the people. Hence, democracy means more than the functioning of effective representative institutions. It means upholding fundamental principles, particularly the rule of law and respect for human rights. Pakistan has been oscillating between civilian and military rule since its inception in 1947. The military has by far been the stronger party, with 33 years of rule notched up versus 27 years of civilian government. I would like to turn your attention to an example which violates human rights and shows a complete violation of rule of law and democracy, which exists in Pakistani society today. In recent time, cases of forced disappearance are on the rise. Experts of United Nations working on the issue pointed that forced disappearance is an act that negates the very essence of humanity, and it's contrary to the deepest value of any society. Furthermore, a new trend has been reported in enforced disappearances. Since July 2010 to date, more than 430 bodies of disappeared persons has been found on the roadsides in Balochistan province alone. The family members have no idea where their missing persons are. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.